What's up guys, I'm back with another pickup video as well as a channel update. Sorry I've been MIA for quite a while. My dad passed away right at Thanksgiving, so yeah, that was a holiday. And I had to take some time off to decompress from everything. Life got a little crazy for a little bit, but again, I'm back. I'm here to show the pickups from the last couple of months as well as what I plan on doing with the channel coming up. Also, apologies in advance, but this video will not have gameplay footage of the game pickups. I would rather focus my energy on the more fun stuff like music, reviews, things like that. So anyway, let's get started. We have a bit of an update to my gaming corner here. As you can see, we have a lot more artwork now. We got Tim Kitzrow's autograph right there on that NBA Jam picture. We got Paul Niemeyer right there. Got a couple more prints right here. Got another one right here with Tim Kitzrow again. Really cool to have this stuff up here. Also rearranged the systems just a little bit. I moved some things around. So now the speakers are over here at eye level instead of being on the floor. We replaced the Model 3 with the Model 2 just because it has better audio. It's a trade-off. For the Model 3, do you want better video with the Model 3 or do you want better audio for the Model 2? Right now I'm preferring the better audio. We changed the PS2 to a PS2 Fat because my Slim developed that issue that a lot of them do where it starts scratching your disc. So no more of that. So I changed that to the Fat. And then everything else is about the same, as you can see. Still very proud of this. Next, we have this bad boy. This is an LTD SN1000 HT in the Purple Blast finish. Credit goes to my friend Mark for convincing me to get this thing. He's known as PsychoFace1991 on YouTube, Twitch, and all that, all the above, Spotify, so check him out. This is an amazing guitar, probably one of my favorites I've ever owned, and I've owned like over 60 now. So there will be an in-depth review on this guitar. There are a couple shorts of me just messing around with it, but I will be going in depth with this guitar. This thing is just amazing. Next up, we have this custom-made Pearloid pickguard for my LTD Stephen Carpenter 7-string. This is meant to make the guitar a single pickup guitar, so it covers that stupid middle pickup cavity up. So shout out to Afterman Guitars. This thing doesn't fit, none of the screw holes line up, and they're not responding to any of my messages after over a week and me sending multiple emails. So shout out to them, Afterman Guitars. Here's a really cool item. This is called a Powkiddy V10. It's a little handheld emulation device. It runs on Emulation Station, ArcOS, and this thing runs great, especially for Game Boy Advance games. It has a 3:2 aspect ratio, so it has pixel perfect scaling, 2x for Game Boy Advance, and it looks incredible. I put it side by side to my actual GBA SP just to get it just right, the way the settings are, and it just looks amazing. I'll show you this in the next clip. So check this out. This is a comparison between the Powkiddy V10 and the GBA SP. And this is a 3:2 aspect ratio screen just like the GBA, but it's bigger. It has pixel perfect scaling to 2x. And honestly, I've never seen Game Boy Advance games look better than this outside of having a real Game Boy. The accuracy on this is just stunning. And I'll show some close-up shots if this doesn't come through on the camera properly. I love having this thing. Now, I'm kind of a purist. I always want to have the most accurate experience. I want to play at the native resolution. But I'm getting older. Sometimes I don't feel like squinting at this little tiny ass screen. This is the next best thing. It's a bit bigger and it looks every bit as good as the real Game Boy Advance with that pixel perfect scaling. I love this thing. It's less than 40 bucks. If you're into handhelds, get one of these. Next, we have some PlayStation goodness. Got Contender for the PS1, complete, of course. Extreme Pinball for the PS1, also complete. These were like $1 a piece, so they're nothing special, but hey, for $1, come on. a few PS2 games to add to the collection. These were also just a couple bucks a piece. We have Blowout. This looks like a fun little run and gun shooter. I've never played it before, but this one's complete. Has a movie gallery sticker over the disc there. Wave Rally. I'm hoping this is similar to Wave Race or Splashdown or something. I've heard of this, but I've never played it. And this one I believe is complete too. Yeah, so that one's complete as well. Wipeout Fusion. I love this game. It goes so fast even for a Wipeout game. It's quite different from the rest. It's kind of the black sheep of the series, but I still love it. I think it's fun as hell. And this particular copy is minty. This looks nearly brand new. Starsky and Hutch. Again, just a couple bucks. This one's also complete. Never played it. I remember hearing pretty decent things about it, so I thought I would check it out. Haven't played it yet, but it is complete. Has a little movie gallery sticker action going on though. And I'm kind of crazy for not having this sooner in my collection, but GTA Vice City. This one's complete as well. The disc is in pretty terrible shape because somebody used a really shitty resurfacing machine, but somehow it still reads and I'm not getting any kind of skipping or glitching, so that's good at least. And it was only $5, so it's really not worth sending back. Next for PlayStation 3, we have Child of Eden. This kind of reminds me of Rez, like a psychedelic type deal. Looks really fun. Looking forward to playing this. This one's also complete. And wrapping up PlayStation, we have a few PS4 games. We have NBA Live 19, NBA 2K24, and then NHL 17. Yeah, I like a few sports games. I like NBA and I like NHL. Sue me. Moving right along, we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder for the Switch. I did buy this loose, but I got it at a pawn shop for 30 bucks. 30 bucks for a game that's still like 60 bucks. I'll take it. Now for the comics. I've picked up a ton. First up, we have an omnibus of Radiant Black. This is volume 1. I've never read this series before. I know absolutely nothing about it, but I got it because I like shiny things. And apparently the guy who wrote Power Rangers also wrote this, Power Rangers comics. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's supposed to be like Power Rangers in space, I guess. I don't know. But it looks interesting, so I got it. Next up, we have some Johnny Quest. So I've got all 5 issues. So we got number 1 here, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. And I'm loving this series. I didn't think I would. I watched it when I was a kid, but I wasn't crazy about it, but I was curious because I love the Hanna-Barbera stuff. And I gotta say, this is an excellent story. Every single issue, I've enjoyed this front to the back so far, and I'm gonna continue to keep getting these. Seriously, check this out if you're at all a fan of Johnny Quest or Hanna-Barbera. I really liked the Blood Hunt comics, 1 through 5 that I had, the original series, and there are a ton of different story arcs that kind of tie into that. Didn't really want to dig into that because it seemed really convoluted, but I got curious about the Dracula characters, so I did get the full 3 comic set for Dracula. There's number 1. There's number 2. Haven't read them yet, so I don't know anything about these just yet. There's 3. Here's something that I was kind of skeptical about, but I ended up really loving this series so far. That's the new Crow Dead Time comics. And as you can see, James O'Barr is part of this. That's a good sign. So you have issue 1, issue 2, and the artwork in this is just amazing. And this is issue 3. Why they did this where they covered up the front and back, I don't know. That makes 0 sense to me, so I'll probably double dip on this when I get one with a proper cover. But here's the cover for issue 3. And the artwork in this is just outstanding. If you like noir type things, I mean, look at this. Here's a series that I thought would be pretty cool because I figured, hey, Terminator, right? It can't be bad. You can't go wrong. Yes, you can. This series is fucking stupid. But anyway, so this is issue 1. issue 2, and issue 3. And that will be the last issue I get because Terminator in the Vietnam War, really? And the protagonist, from what I gather, is your generic-ass army dude with a pregnant wife story. But he's running from the Terminator. This is a pretty fun one. I'm not too deep into Green Lantern yet, but I had fun with this one. This is the 0 Hour 30th Anniversary Special #1 with Kyle Rayner here. Very cool. It's your typical Green Lantern, non-stop action. I don't know too much about the lore. I've only read a few of them, but every time that I get a Green Lantern trade paperback or hardcover, I'm not disappointed. It's just a fun time to read these. Next, we have a lot of Space Ghost stuff. Anybody who personally knows me knows I love Space Ghost. So here are the Coast to Coast comics from the 2000s, I believe. I can't remember the exact year, early 2000s, but yeah, here's one of them. Got this issue here. That one. And that one. I just think this is so cool to have, and I'm glad that the guys at Capital City Comics gave me first dibs on these. Haven't read them yet, but I will be very soon. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Next up, more of the Space Ghost Dynamite comics, the new reboot. We have issue 5. Issue 5 again because I forgot I had issue 5. 6. This is a cool one, Moltar. 6 again because, again, I forgot I had issue 6. I have the worst short-term memory in the world. 7. I love that artwork. 8. 8 again, for the same damn reason. I don't care though, this is cool. I'll probably sell the duplicates. And last for Space Ghost, I couldn't resist getting the hardcover of the first few issues here. This is volume 1. This thing is just way too nice for me to pass up, so I had to have it. Plus, it's nice to have a collected edition anyway. And of course, you have like your extras and stuff in the back, you know, extra covers and things, so this is awesome to have. I'll be getting the next go around too. Wrapping it up with the comics, here are some miscellaneous stuff. First, we have Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing. This, I believe, is a one-shot. Really, really cool. If you like either character, seriously, check this out. Green Lantern Dark, didn't care for it. Beavis and Butthead, believe it or not, this was pretty cool. This is a fun one. Street Fighter 4, found it for like $1. This is from a loot crate, Street Fighter Hyper Looting. This one's still sealed. I haven't read it yet, of course. Final Fight number 2. They keep delaying number 3. I'm waiting on it. And finally, Spawn Kills Every Spawn. This looked pretty wacky. I like the way the artwork looks. Don't know much about Spawn, though. The last few trade paperbacks I got were kinda meh. But I still want to love this character, so I'm going to keep giving him a chance, and hopefully I find something that I like. This looks funny though, so I had to give that a try. And very last but not least, I've been wanting a tablet for a while, mostly for the convenience and doing things like reading comics or checking weather radar, things like that. But I didn't want to pay the money for something like an iPad Pro. I checked out the iPad 10 and the iPad Air, the latest gens, and they were actually kind of laggy. So I got the next step down or up, however you want to say it. This is the Samsung Galaxy S9. Very smooth, has 120 Hz refresh rate. It's an AMOLED screen and it's just oodles of fun. I've been playing with this thing non-stop. Mostly wanted it for, like I said, just entertainment purposes. Along with that, I got this cool little Bluetooth keyboard that's like a tri-folding thing. Very small, but very good build quality, made of metal. And this thing's actually small enough to fit in your pocket. It's barely bigger than, say, a smartphone. Like, check this out. So what's next for the channel? First, I have a new track coming soon. It's almost done. I'm just putting some finishing touches on it, so it'll be here sooner than later. Next, I'm going to be reviewing that LTD SN1000. So for any guitar players out there, that'll be fun to check out. Next, I want to show some friends how I set up my guitars. It's not going to necessarily be like a full-blown tutorial on this is how you should do it. I'm simply going to be showing how I do it because it works for me, so I thought I would spread the love on that. Next, I've made pretty good friends with the guys at Capital City Comics, so we're wanting to kind of work out like a tour of the store as well as maybe like an FAQ for them, so that would be cool for all the comic fans. Me and my buddy Rob are also talking about doing another Rabbit Hole podcast video, except we're going to change the name of it probably to Hair Metal Podcast because of the rabbit logo, and there's already a Rabbit Hole podcast on YouTube, and it's political, so no. So yeah, it's probably going to have a name change. And then lastly, I'm thinking about doing maybe like a riff of the week or riff of the month video where I take an original riff that I've written and then teach you how to play it. If you're interested in that, if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comments and I'll be glad to. So that does it for today. Thanks for watching again, thanks for all your support, and until next time, keep rocking.